Welcome back to PCM Yeti, episode 125. We're at the sixth monument. Or is it the first monument? Or is it a monument? Obviously, it's not officially a monument, but we're at Strade Bianche. One of my favorite races of the year. I thoroughly enjoy this one. I definitely rank it up there as one of the best of the year, and certainly better than a few of the monuments that do exist. But as we see our new colors for the very first time, not on Harasim, but on Lind, the Williams Martini colors are now ours to fly, and for the most part, most of our new team members are not going to be visible today. It's going to be a lot of the old guard guys. Of course, we have a couple of bigger stage races that exist on the calendar that begin in the next 24 to 48 hours following this one. And so a lot of those GC style guys are going to be prepping to be part of one of those two races, leaving us with a little bit of a B team for Strade Bianche to perform with. But they're, especially compared to prior seasons, it's still looking like a pretty good team. And it's looking like a fairly good race day condition for the team as well, because, well, preparation. I picked a handful of races to focus on this season, and this was amongst them. And as a result, I got objectives for the entire group. But our first injury of the year has gone to Mark Puck. Short term, will not take him long to recover, so we should get him back here fairly soon. And we're looking at just 9 breakaway riders, and we're still waiting on our last two guys coming forward here as we enter our first kind of lengthy gravel sector. Vasilevsky, let's push a little bit harder. Same with Montez, get them forward, and I should get these guys set. So Montez has replaced Puck, meaning he did not have any preparation for this week, and he's got exactly what he's supposed to with a +2. All of those +2s, that is exactly the draw they are supposed to have today. In fact, the entire team has a +2 expected, and one rider had a +3 expected. So even beyond that, we have a +1 and a +2 off of the team. We have a +3 net race day condition, and it's looking decently green. Let's hope that they can be pretty competitive as we get through this one. But those last two guys are still trying to make their way forward, and there's already a few guys that are kind of drifting a little bit. Cobble ratings, for the most part, it's amongst our better guys. It's 1 to 2 star gravel sectors is all. But we've definitely focused on getting a number of guys that are relatively punchy, or a couple guys that have good flat ratings, or somewhere there or thereabouts. So Harasim definitely has pace, but this doesn't finish on a sprint, right? We finish here with a 1.3k 5.8% climb at the end of this one, and I'm pretty sure that's a cobbled climb at the end of this one. So Harasim, as much as the sprint is nice and the cobble's nice, not that punchy. Palmer, Lind certainly is an option. He's a little bit of a sprinter as well. So this guy finally has made his way forward. Good sprinter, not good cobble or hills. So Vasilevsky will protect somebody once we kind of figure out who. Pickrell, not very punchy. Zayat's very much not, so he'll be a domestique today. Montez is punchy and has acceleration, but does not have a race day condition. But I think we can make him one of the leaders. As we enter the first final gravel sector of this first phase of this race, things have calmed down. We've got a breakaway of 8 riders, holding at a 5-minute advantage. The biggest climb of the day will be here soon, but at this pace, it's not going to be a problem. I'll see you as we enter the second sector, as it looks like 3 of our riders have gone down with each other, and 1 or 2 other riders caught up in it. They will recover. However, let's make sure, as somebody stopped to help out, let's make sure their effort is up a little bit higher. I'll get it back in position here pretty quickly, though. Recovery complete Zayats, though, I sent him back as we were finishing up that recovery to go get water. That's a task that will be complete in just a moment. There we go, full team. Zayats a little bit tired from that effort, but we enter phase number 2 with a big section where we spend a lot more time in gravel than we do on any sort of tarmac. Gorgeous, gorgeous region here. Absolutely love the scenery when I'm watching this race live. Even here in game, looks really awesome. 100k left to go. The gap to the breakaway is down to 4 minutes, so we're riding a little bit harder now than before, and it's definitely taking at least somewhat of a toll on those who don't have good mountain ratings. I wouldn't say we're into punchy territory, right? Pace-wise, it's more about mountain, but also those who lack that cobble or flat rating. Any of those three, or maybe even just low stamina, is catching some guys out. Right. First, well, really second, steeper gravel sector, but it's only 1 star. And I did up the effort a little bit to get these guys back up into position I've left them on. You don't want to drift back too far here, because with the skinny roads and the undulation, things could go haywire pretty quickly. So as much as I love to conserve energy, today's not necessarily the day where you want to do that. But that's phase 2 behind us. We're on the flat for a little bit. Phase 3 is where this race really begins to take off, and so I'm trying to send Zayats a little early on the water to get that taken care of, and we're heading into it, and he's finally starting to make his way back forward, but he wasn't too far behind the group, and he'll be right on their tail as we enter the gravel here. But this is also where that undulation begins to take off. So let's get these guys. Yeah, we'll get a little bit of blinking red, a little bit of drift as the race begins to really happen as guys try to put others under a bit of hurting, and we are seeing a couple of riders attacking off front, creating new groups. Separation as we have just 23 now, and let's hold on to the 23 that we have, because the gap behind is actually opening quite quickly through here. 65k left. Zayats did finish the water. He got it handed off to everybody. We're a minute and a half ahead of the chase. That's how much of a gap opened up over that stretch. 2 riders left off the front, by the way, and we're dropping riders from this group. So that heavy pace there through that sector, through that phase. Well, we're not even done with phases. We get a little bit of a break here, but we're in another very lengthy gravel sector. And these are the last 2 really big gravel sectors that will really sort this race positioning out. But let's go ahead and get gels for a couple of the domestiques who are really feeling it. I don't think they're going to last through that next sector. It's 2 stars. It's tougher. And there's undulation, especially right from here. It's now 9 riders at the front, and they've been caught. We're going to get another acceleration, though, as a couple guys attack. Zayats and Montez holding just fine. Vasilevsky is going to get dropped here quite quickly, and it's really good that we did not slow things down, because the gaps behind us are huge gaps behind. Schmid has also been dropped. Ben Tollett on the verge of getting dropped. We're going to see this thin out. Here's the last big climb of a long gravel sector, but there's plenty more undulation to come in the next little bit. But we're going to see Pickrell fade as well. We're going to be down to, it looks like 4 riders, maybe 5 here in just a moment as you go into that last phase and have the undulation. I'm okay with those guys attacking, because there's right now enough riders to contribute towards a chase. Zayats goes out the back with him. Tavares, 80 mountain, but 65 on that cobble. Good strong climber is Gallardo. Fred Wright has the cobble, has the hills, has the sprint, but not a great mountain rating. Mark Hershey has gone out the back, so there's now 16 in the chase group, and there's 4 off the front, 20 riders left in contention. And for the moment, I have 5, but Pickrell's on the verge of getting dropped. We will have to contribute to this soon enough if those front guys continue to expand the gap. And right now, it's looking like they are. They're out to a minute and a half already. But I don't want to take over and be stuck controlling this thing for 45K. I'll burn right through my guys. Now there's 7 at the front. What happened to 4? And now we're up to 30. We're just not riding. Come on, there's got to be somebody in here that wants to contribute. There's got to be somebody that Pickrell's recovering. It's only a minute and a half. It's only a minute and a half with 40K to go. Plenty of firepower. Okay, front group's already getting disorganized. It's dropped 5 in the front, and the gap's coming down, so we are pulling them back. As I expected, I just did not like the way things were going there for a moment, but I'm glad I remained patient. Harasim and Lind are absolutely looking the strongest right now.
There's another rider with a puncher.
And here comes the first big acceleration. These guys are attacking, and nobody suddenly wants to chase. These are the only guys working, and they're suddenly attacking the group. So it's 37K. Like, what are we supposed to do here? We can't make it 37K. Pickrell will ride and see if that does anything to get others to also ride. Anything? Anything at all. Yeah, we're holding the gap. Minute 10 for now. Montez. Pickrell's riding harder than others, even with no energy. That's not just 2 riders off the front, right? There's still 6. There's still 6. Let's see what favorites are here. Lescano. Definitely among the favorites because of the 79 caliber rating and punchy. And Gills certainly as well. Baggioli. Paulus. Bianche. Gregoire. No wonder nobody wants to ride. That's all the favorites. Van Wilder trying to join the favorites. And Ben Healy. Keep an eye on the clock. Let things roll out for a little bit. Montez can take over as necessary, but for now, Pickrell is saving us, and we're actually getting a little recovery in for these guys, or at least they're thereabouts. 32K now. Gap, not looking good. Gap, not looking good. On to Montez. And others are trying to attack as well, so Montez right over that hill, make up some ground. Now it's 22 chasing 7, and we brought him back pretty fast with that effort, so ease off for Montez through here. I think I can handle 3 guys for a while, but I can't. Montez has got to give us a good coverage. I guess we can set him on relay and see if others will contribute. Oh, we split off! Yes! Okay. Oh, they recovered. Yeah, the guys are capable, they just don't want to ride. They want somebody else to do the work. Pickrell, hey! Go ahead and get on the back. Yeah, we're about to catch him. We're about to catch him, and then we can sit on. Good job, Montez. All right. Holding position. Now it's 29 at the front. As we go to enter the cobbled sectors. Or not cobbled, gravel. Okay, now we ride. And we ride hard with Montez. Well, hard-ish, anyway. Because this is what I was talking about. This is where you put the group under a bit of hurting. Montez, very much a punchy guy, not a normal pace guy as he gets us through the second climb there. It's this next climb where I think it'll be a good time to do some damage. It's the longest gravel sector that remains. And we're inside 20K. Palmer will take over shortly. We're not the only ones with a vision on doing something here. As Paulus attacks. Lescano, Van Gils, Baggioli. The group is thinning, both in front and behind, right? 4 guys off front. But Palmer setting a nice little steady tempo. And we're looking just fine on that. But Pickerel, Montez have been dropped. Also dropped, Healy, Scaroni, Mark, Molinar, Montez, Mintegi. Down to 19 riders left now from 28. So we have done some damage here through this sector. Ease off a little bit with Palmer right now. Continue to lead though. Nobody else really wants to ride, though it looks like they kind of are going to ride. But we're going to hit this little hill and then hilltop. And then another little gravel sector where you want to push on just a little bit. Right here. Especially as we come out of it. 11.6k. Harasim and Lind are looking pretty good for that finishing sector. Down to 17. One more rider dropped. Okay. Light undulation from here till you get to the finishing climb. So Harasim will be taken over here fairly soon. But we're going to let... Down to 10. Down to 10. We've split off another 7 riders. Split off another 7 riders. Let's go see them. Okay, other riders we've dropped off. Bowden, McNulty, the 7, Skjelmos, Lipovitz, Rafferty, Van Moor, Van Wilder, and a Venipol have both been dropped. 2 of the favorites. The Plus hanging on. Hanging on, is he? He's dropped down to 9. With us, Pagacher, Gregoire, Paulus, Baccioli, Lescano, Van Gils, the group that attacked. It is the group that attacked. Palmer doesn't have the energy to keep pushing, but he can just push as hard as he can and give us a chance. We've got another hill here. I think Harasim, you're going to want Harasim to kind of take over at some stage. Palmer, grab onto the rear.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
And he's going to get dropped down to 8. Down to 7. Somebody's going with him. 5k. 4k. Little descent, and then we go into that final one. Lind is not a favorite for this, but we absolutely will crack the top 5. I mean, we only have to be one guy to make that happen, right? So Harasim, 3k. Will lead out for Lind. 2k. Here we go.
Acceleration by Lascano.
Oh, all 5 of them going clear. Are you kidding me? They're so strong. But there's us coming back at it. Setting up Lind. Harasim goes forward and sets up Lind for the sprint. Can they hold off? They are at the front as we head for the finish line. Harasim's going to hold off Lind to claim victory. Our first monument victory? Almost monument victory. We have won Strade Bianche. Harasim and Lind with a 1-2. Lescano grabs 3rd. Paulus, Gregoire, Van Gils, Pagacher round out that top 7. What a ride. What a ride. And we have pulled a victory. No snowballs. All that's left is the Tour de France. But we will do what we can with the monuments this season. Like I said, we might not get very many other race days, period. This might just be 3 grand tours to focus on. So as we claim victory here in Strade Bianche, like I said, the result's great. Really fantastic ride. Smart to wait because you've got that cobbled sector. The others attacked on the cobbles, burnt through their red bar before they crested, and then had nothing left to sprint to the finish line. We just pushed through the cobbles, lost a little bit of ground on those guys, and then started our sprint as we were coming out of the cobbles. We burnt through it pretty quickly as we were still trying to crest the hill, but in that short period of time, we caught up to them, and then we still had some red bar left that we were then able to accelerate away from them to claim victory on. But I want to do these races justice. So we're not going to just rush right into the next one, but also, as I had mentioned, I had things going on with the beginning of volleyball season. I've got 2 days left of tryouts on that, and then tax season. As I'm recording this one, it's tax day, but it's done. I got it done last night, but I've got a couple of days to get caught up on some things and get back on schedule, as it were. So more monuments to come, obviously. We'll get through, 4 of them before we get into the Giro. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.